my friends, and welcome back to my channel. So the other day I saw the highly anticipated Ready Player One, and I am a huge fan of the book. So I had been looking forward to this movie for the longest time. And now that I've seen it, I'm really disappointed in it. So today's video is me going to be comparing the differences from the movie and the book. And spoiler alert, there is a lot of differences. I would be really interested to hear other people's thoughts if you've read the book or seen the movie, vice versa, both. Were you disappointed? Did you like the movie? Let's talk. So within 5 minutes into the movie, I was already pretty mad because Wade doesn't go to school. In the book, Wade attends high school in the Oasis, which is a compulsory thing, and the government actually provided him with his rig that he uses because he was too poor to afford one. And this rig is really shitty, really low quality, and the thing is he can only access the planet that he schools on with this rig, whereas in the movie he has no restrictions, he doesn't go to school, he has a pretty decent rig, and it takes away the rags to riches element of it, which I think was really important of Wade's character development. But what also bothered me is the fact that the very first clue, challenge, gate, key thing was on the school planet, which I think says a lot about Halliday because he wanted it to be found by a school student. Once again, no mention of that in the movie whatsoever. I get why they changed the challenge to a car race. That is a lot more epic. It looks a lot better in cinema. I get that. There's also licensing issues. I get that I'm not mad at. But when I feel like it's something that's really important to the character's development, that bothers me. Another thing that bothered me, but just a little bit this time, is the fact that Shoto and Daito was introduced at the start of the movie as Aech's friends, whereas in the book, they complete strangers to the characters until, once again, spoiler alert, the very end where shit's going down and people trying to kill them. Like, they become friends out of necessity. Once again, I think that's important for character development, but maybe that's just me. So as I mentioned before, all of the challenges were different. The only challenge that didn't change is the adventure challenge. That is in the book and in the movie, but aside from that, all of them are changed. I'm not that mad at that. As I said, I can get why they did that. But if you haven't read the book and you're just kind of curious as to what the challenges were like in the book, let me give you a quick example of just some of the challenges. So a lot of them required you to defeat video games. There was ones where you had to go into a movie and roleplay as a character from that movie, get all their lines. There's epic guitar solos, totally epic in a book, not so epic on screen. Once again, not mad that they changed that. I'm not that ridiculous, or it's like things need to be exactly the same as the book. They can have some creative license to embellish things for screen, but once again, there was just too many changes. Another difference is the fact that Ogden is not seen in the movie until the very end. Whereas in the book, he's present throughout. The party club scene, that was originally a party for Ogden once again. That's not that important. But what was important was Ogden was the one that saved the high five from iOS. When they were trying to kill them, Ogden went and took them from their homes. He was the one that found their identities, took them and gave them a safe place in his own home so they could continue the challenge away from IOI, because it was his duty that Halliday gave him to make sure that everything was fair. Once again, I think that's an important plot point. Why the hell would you not put that in? If you take what I just said and kind of reverse it, that brings me to my next difference, which is the fact that Sam/Artemis is introduced way too early in the movie. Wade and Artemis don't meet in person until after the whole entire challenge is completely over. The book basically finishes with them becoming lovers. Be it her leading a secret rebellion and having men that work for her, and potentially the whole thing with her dad as well was not mentioned in the book at all. I don't remember the thing with the dad, so if you've read the book, please let me know if that was in the book. The other thing about Artie being introduced so early is then she is the one that infiltrates IOI headquarters. That doesn't happen in the book either. It is Wade that takes on a secret identity and then infiltrates IOI. I'm just getting really worked up, and it's only going to get worse because the next change is the one that bothers me the most. That is because Daito is murdered by IOI, and that is something that they decided just to completely skip over, and I think once again that is a very important plot point that kind of drives the story forward. Why would you cut that out? The other thing that is different is how Wade got his extra life. It's really not that important to the story, I'll admit that, but in the book he gets it by playing a perfect game of Pac-Man, which I just think is a lot more epic than how he got it in the movie, which is just, he makes a half-hearted bet with the curator, and the curator gives him this coin which happens to be an extra life. Anyways, those are all the changes that I had written down in my phone, but I know that there's going to be a lot more. So if you are someone that has read the book and seen the movie, comment down below and let me know what changes that I missed, if there was anything that bothered you in particular, if you are as mad as I am, or just let me know if this is justified or am I being ridiculous. This is where my head is at with it. Ready Player One had so much hype around it because so many people like me were fans of the book and fell in love with the story of the book. And it feels like with the movie, they've kind of taken the story and cheapened it, and the stakes don't feel as high. It just feels like they've made too many alterations and it's not the story that I know and love. And as I said, I'm realistic. I know that when movies come from books, there's going to be changes. The book is always better. I know that. But for a story that I love so dearly and I was so excited to see play out on a big screen, for it to be changed so much is just incredibly disappointed. It's basically if Ron killed Voldemort instead of Harry Potter in the movies, you'd be like, that is me. That's how I feel. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to me rambling. I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't like it, you can also give me a thumbs down. That's cool. This is an open relationship. I like communication. I'm rambling again. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, just know I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for watching.